I created this fun 5x7 card using brand new release products from Pretty Pink Posh. Hey everyone, it's Joy here and welcome to my channel. I am so excited to be guest designing for Pretty Pink Posh, and today I'm going to be using the Scallop Flag Tags die. I think these are gorgeous. This is the You Write Greetings Birthday. I will be using the Bright Rainbow Mix. This is not from the release. This is just something I got for the release. This is the Layered Garlands stencil and then the Cascading Stars stencil. So like I mentioned, I am creating a 5x7 card because this is the size I wanted to use for the Scallop Flag dies. I am going to create 3 little shakers. This is going to be our shape, and that little window is going to be our shaker window. So I'm going to die cut this 3 times from white cardstock. We're going to do stenciling, ink blending, heat embossing. I mean, we got a lot of things going on for this card. So 3 of those is what I need for my card design. So I'm just going to show you that I'm going to pop this out. You can keep the little piece in the center for another one, but that is going to be the front of our shaker window. Then I'm going to take that largest Scallop Flag die and die cut 3 backgrounds. So that will be the back to our shakers. So again, from white cardstock, 3 of those. Let's do some ink blending. I am using Distress Oxide inks. I am starting with dried Marigold, and then I will use spiced Marmalade. I'm going to do that for one of the Scalloped Flag tags. The next color combination will be Kitsch Flamingo and Picked Raspberry, and then Salvaged Patina and Peacock Feathers. I love these color combinations. I think they are so much fun together. So I'm going to do the background and then the front shaker window. Now, I am going to be doing it in ombre, so I want to kind of make sure that the front and back match up. So I started ombre with that first color of dried Marigold, and then I'm going to bring in that darker color of spiced Marmalade. So that's the back. Now I'm going to do the front, and again, I'm going to line these up and just kind of make sure that they are close enough to matching where the colors go. Perfect. I'm going to set that aside, and then I can work on my next color combination. I'm just going to clean my desk off so I don't contaminate with the wrong colors. And I am going to be using Kitsch Flamingo for my lighter color. And again, I'm ombreing this, so darker at the top, lighter towards the bottom. I'm still giving it a little bit of color at the bottom, but super light-handed when I'm doing the ink blending. I'm not adding any more ink to my brush when I go down to the bottom. Then again, the second color is going to be Picked Raspberry, and I will just do the darker color, you know, more towards the top. That's pretty good. That's close enough. And then here's that darker color. I just think these turned out so pretty. I love that they're scalloped. I love that there's a stitching edge, and I love that there is multiple sizes. So I cannot wait to make more projects with these because I just think this is one of my, I think these are my favorite thing out of this whole release. This release is their birthday release. They're celebrating. I'm so excited that I get to be guest designing. I am so happy about that. And I just love all of the projects, all of the products that they sent me to use. Okay, here is the Salvaged Patina. And the darker color I'm going to use with this is Peacock Feathers. Now, I do also bring in a 4th color. I bring in Squeezed Lemonade, and I'm going to use that for the background when we do some stenciling on the 5x7 card. Now, this is a card that's not going to fit in a 5x7 envelope for a couple reasons. There's some serious dimension, and I let it hang over the edge. This is something that I think you could absolutely hand deliver, put it in a cute little bag, a cute little box with the present, and deliver it that way. Now I'm using the Cascading Stars stencil. I want to add a few of the stars to the fronts of our shaker window, the Scalloped Flag tag window, I guess. And I'm using the darker color. So here in the orange family, I am going to be using Spiced Marmalade for the hearts. And it's just a few hearts, but it added a lot to the front. Picked Raspberry for the pink. And then I will use Peacock Feathers for the turquoise. It just adds a little something extra, which I absolutely loved. Okay, now that that is done, look at how cute that is. Let's start with our background. I am using the Layered Garlands stencil. Here's where I'm bringing in that Squeezed Lemonade Distress Oxide ink. This is the 5x7 background. And so my stencil is not 5x7. It's not going to go all the way across, but we're just going to add it together. I'm just going to line it up and then continue stenciling like it's a long stencil. You have no idea when you're done, and it is perfect. So you absolutely could stencil with something like this on a way bigger background. I am using the Squeezed Lemonade. Then I'm going to use the lighter colors. So I'm going to use Dried Marigold, Kitsch Flamingo, and then Salvaged Patina for this background. And I just loved how this turned out. All of the garland is just flowing across each other, like you just having this big party and you have all this beautiful garland everywhere. I absolutely loved how this background turned out. And as you can see, it's really, really easy. This really didn't take a ton of time to do. And I just kind of went with how I thought I wanted things to look. I didn't have to be perfect. It's not perfect, but it turned out fantastic. And I think anybody would love a card like this. I am taping off the edges because I know me and I don't want to ink blend past my stencil. So I am using a little bit of low tack tape to kind of protect the edge there. So I don't ink blend onto an area that I don't want to, because I would absolutely do that. So here is that Kitsch Flamingo. I'm going to do one more of the Kitsch Flamingo. I'm doing like 2 garlands of each color, and I'm doing, so I did the yellow and orange in the same type of garland, and I'm going to do the pink and turquoise in the same type of garland. I can't remember how many stencils are in this, but there is more than 2. So you have different types of garland, but this is what I picked for this background. I'm going to line that up, continue stenciling, and then we have our last color, which is Salvaged Patina, and I'm going to do it in that the same stencil here that I used for the pink. Just want to make sure everything is nice and dry, and I'm not going to contaminate my background with the wrong color or make spots, or, you know, just something you don't want happening. So I'm going to tape that edge off there so I don't, again, ink blend onto my surface here. I only want to ink blend through my stencil. And then I also decided I'm going to splatter the background. I'm going to splatter with all of the same colors that I just used here when I'm all done. I wanted it to feel like confetti is falling everywhere. Like this is a big celebration. You have a lot going on in the background. So here is my last little bit of stenciling. I think I have to add a couple little pieces over here, and then that is done. Cute, cute. So here's the splattering. I'm just going to smush the ink onto my work surface, add a little bit of water and a paintbrush, and then just, you know, nothing crazy, just get the background splattered. I am going to clean off my brush really good in between each splattering. I don't, again, want to change the colors. I don't want to make a purple. I don't, you know what I mean? Like I don't want to accidentally do that. So there was the Dried Marigold. The next I'm going to do is Kitsch Flamingo, and then I will do Salvaged Patina. But I love the splatter on the background, and I am so glad that I did it. It just adds a little something extra to it. After I finish this last bit of splattering, we are going to stamp the sentiments on the front pieces of the scalloped flag tags. I'm going to do some white heat embossing. Ooh, look, isn't that so pretty? And I have lined up on my front pieces here the You Write Greetings birthday. So this pink one is going to be in the center. So I have 2 sentiments, and these sentiments are vertical, you guys. I love it. I'm so excited about that. I'm going to prep it with an anti-static powder tool, and then I'm going to add my 2 sentiments. This is the only one that's going to have 2 sentiments. So the one set, or it's going to say happiest birthday. So on the left it says happiest, on the right it says birthday, and I am going to use some white heat embossing powder to heat this up. I used some clear embossing ink. I sprinkled that on there. I was making sure I didn't have any little rogue embossing powder pieces. If I did, I just wiped those off. I have my heat tool on nice and hot, and then I'm going to heat that, and then we have our sentiments. Now the other two little scalloped flags are only going to have one sentiment. So the orange one is going to be on the left side. So I am going to add the sentiment to the right side. And this one says, make a wish. Doing exactly the same thing, inking that up with my clear embossing ink, sprinkling on my white embossing powder, cleaning off the little strays, and then heating that up. Then the turquoise flag will be on the right side, but I want to have the sentiment on the left side. And this one says, celebrate. I loved that I could use so many sentiments on this. I love how they fit on these little flag tags. I think it's so fantastic. So now that that's all heated up, we have our sentiments done. Let's create our shakers. So I have my little pieces of acetate already cut. I used the flag tag die that was in between this largest and smallest one that we made in these windows. I'm going to add a little bit of tape runner and a little bit of liquid glue so it really holds down nicely and stays in place. And then I can add all of my acetate to that little window. Then I'm going to add some foam adhesive behind it. I am using the Bright Rainbow Mix. This is not from this release, but I loved how tiny they were, which is perfect for this project. I am using 3mm foam adhesive. I'm just going to show you on this one how I add it to the back, making sure there's no gaps between the foam adhesive so nothing falls out. But I'm going to do this the same for all three of those windows. Super easy to do. And these titanium scissors, you guys, cuts that foam adhesive and it doesn't stick. So yay for that. Let's add a bunch. I added a lot. I tend to go shyer on the amount of shaker mix stuff, but I really wanted this to be full of fun little confetti pieces. That one had a little too much. Trying to make them fairly even, and then I'm going to pop that, put those right in the center. Then I can take the release paper off of the back of each one of these, trying to make sure that my little confetti pieces don't stick. I'm going to lay that on top, line it up. That's the back piece. Press it down, and then we have our first little shaker. I just think they're so cute, you guys. I love these. Let's remove that release paper from there. Making sure I have the right color backing to it because I just know that would be me and I would mess it up. I checked like 3 times, you guys. I'm like, I don't want to accidentally put the pink with the yellow with the orange. It would just, it's not what I wanted. So when I peeled that off, I bumped it. A lot of those little pieces started sticking. I had to move them in. This is what happens, but it's okay. Easily fixable. Let's place that back on there and press that down really good. And now we have our 3 shakers. We can start lining these up on our background. So some tape runner and a little bit of liquid glue because I really want these to be held in place. They're kind of hefty duty. They have a lot of shaker mix in there, a lot of things going on. So this is going to be the center, and these pieces are going to hang off the side, which is why I said this is not going to fit in an envelope, but who cares? Like this is, I just love the shaker. I just love it. It looks like a banner. That's what I'm creating, is this fun little banner of these scallop flag dies, and I think they turned out so cute. And then I'm going to add just a few of those Bright Rainbow Mix pieces to the fronts of this, and that just adds a little something extra. And then we can take a look. This will be adhered to a 5x7 background. Look at how that shakes. I love it. I love this card so much. I love how big it is, and I love everything on it. I hope you guys enjoyed this project. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and definitely stay tuned for more videos using the Pretty Pink Posh new release.